So, I wanted to get on here a little bit earlier. I don't know if anybody can see this yet, but I was hoping I can get on here so I can coax a few extra people in. I don't think we have everybody quite yet. I can check on my phone. Don't go in the milk, but I got my cereal here, so I'm kind of busy to check. But we got like 5 teams left. Biggest reason I want everybody involved, that's kind of rude. I shouldn't be eating, but it's going to be super soggy. Anyways, I'm done with that. We're doing trades on this 7-round mock draft. And when people trade with robots, they get kind of stupid and ruin the whole thing. Hey, what's up, brother? Bananas Epic Gaming. What's going on, my man? So, can I see? Just checking out how this all works. I should be streaming on. I'm live here as well. Good to see you, dude. I want to see if the Facebook chat comes through. I don't even know if I'm live on YouTube. I don't care, dude. We're on YouTube. Let's do this. How do I join? Hey, do I join? I should have a link. Shoot. Let me drop a link in here really quick if I can figure out how. Invite. That says invite a spectator. Crap. 1 sec. We got 3 minutes. We can do this. How do I do this? Can you see what I'm showing right now? I don't need you creeping on all my stuff. You can't see it. And it's still ticking, which is nice. Da-da-dee, here's the link. Getting the link because we're rocking it. All right, here's the link. If I can figure out how to get back to what I'm doing. Sign into chat. Come on. You sign into chat. Stupid. All right, so that right there is the link. Hi on YouTube now. All right. So if you click that link, you do have to sign up. It's like $5 a month or whatever. It's very, very cheap. But if you use promo code PACKERNET, all caps, you get like 20% off. So 20% off of the yearly subscription. So, I mean, again, it's extremely cheap, and you can get in. And let me see if I can see what teams we have left here. Click on that again. Looks like we got the Texans. So you get like 2 picks. Oh, nice. We got the Texans, the Rams, and the Seahawks. So nobody wants the teams where nobody gets to pick. Plus, even if people try to scam those teams, which they probably will, please don't do that, by the way. Then it's hard to kind of rip off a team that has like legitimately 3 picks. But if we can find a Texans person, a Rams person, and or a Seahawks person, that would be absolutely glorious. I'd be very, very happy about that. I got the Chicago Bears. When I set this up, I had the Packers because I was like, I don't want to sit here and have to like comment all the. It's way too much work. I mean, you can do the first round, but as you get later and later, stuff goes so fast. It's really hard to keep up. So I'd kind of want to just stay locked in as the Packers guy, and then we go through the draft and all that stuff. I might just get rid of these little counters. I don't know. It's kind of just annoying me. It's kind of cool because you can see live updates, and if people feel like donating to the taco fund, that's great. But it's kind of annoying me that it's sitting there. We'll see how it goes. Are trades off? No, trades are on. We're doing this. Trades are up and on, and if they're not, I'm going to lose it and get very upset because I've been planning on this for a week. Wife is texting me. Let's see what we're going on. We're in the process of putting a bid in on a house, so the timing is just horrible for everything right now, but I'm going to be as attentive as I possibly can. Email percentage. Talk amongst yourselves. Have a little coffee talk. Nightmare that she's at a party and I'm doing a live stream and we got our realtor reaching out like, so here's the details and we're busy. Just go buy us a house. Maybe you should call her and talk numbers. Dude. Nope. Not doing that. I'll just say okay. I didn't read all that, but I gotta go. Colin says, let's flip and go. Thank you for censoring that, sir. AJ said it's not letting him trade. Don't. Hold on. Man. Everything got all messed up. Just. Thank you for the house, love. Yeah, I don't see a way to trade. Now I'm getting mad. I had the Packers. I had trading all ready to go. Everything was good to go. You know, you set this up a week in advance, and now all of a sudden I'm the Bears, and I don't see a way to trade. Oh, I cannot express the frustration that I have right now. I can't change it. It's obviously too late to change anything. Everything gets locked. This is so... It's all right. We're going to have fun. It'll be all right. Whatever. You guys were going to make stupid trades anyways. Oh, that's so annoying. That's so freaking annoying. If I thought everybody would be like locked in, I'd be like, we're doing a 7-round mock draft. It'll be fun. This will be a practice for next time when we do a 7-round with trades, I guess. Oh, I got a trade offer. What are you guys talking about? What's my trade offer? What's biddle-eating? Oh, we got trades. All right. All right. Anyways, I'm going to hold on to this for a second. Now I'm happy. I'm sorry for my tirade. I got a lot going on in my life right now. I was actually just thinking as I was coming down here, I'm trying to like go through my head, like, you know, because again, I thought I was Packers and I'm Bears. And I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? We got a lot of needs, and trading back is not the worst possible thing. So I don't think I want to trade up. I respect the Cowboys wanting to get some picks, but I mean, see, but here's the thing. We could get a legit quarterback. I didn't expect to go all the way up to 10. So let's see. Let's just see how this goes. What is So I got to keep an eye on the quarterbacks that are available because that might be a legit thing to do. Where's the chat? What do we got going on here? Has Dallas said anything yet? No. Only a minute away. Who wants to trade for Russell? Send me trades. I guess. Carolina for Wilson. I'll let them work that out. So again, I want to keep an eye on the quarterbacks. I'm obviously not going to go up for Mac Wilson, but Trey Lance or Mac Jones, but I will for Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, possibly. I don't really want to trade up as the Bears, especially for all that compensation. That was 3 picks. That's a lot, man. But it's hard to say no because there's such We'll see. Who's left on the board here? We've got the Bengals do not want a quarterback. I don't think the Eagles will. The Lions could. The Panthers will. The Broncos might, but probably won't. And then I would get pick 10. We'll see. We'll see. It's possible. We might be able to. I really don't want to though. We need offensive line. Wide receiver is still a need, even though we tagged Robinson. That's a 1-year Band-Aid. He's going to get out after this year, and we're going to need somebody. Obviously, we need quarterback, but that's going to take us 3 picks to go up and get somebody. You know, defensive line, now that they're allowing Akeem Hicks to look around, it sounds like he's going to come back, but, you know, that's, again, a short-term thing. What do we got here? Why is Probably won't take a quarterback, but it obviously depends on who's doing the picking and how much they like Hurts and all that, especially when you got Zach Wilson still sitting there. You got to start thinking about it. What else do we need? Corner, obviously, now that Fuller's gone. I should be pulling up some resources. If I do this, am I messing everything up? Or nope. So you can't see any of this. So that's okay. That's exciting. Surprised you weren't watching the Illinois game. No, I don't care. My screen is frozen. Is it really? Oh, what's up? Hold on. Oh, I got another trade. It's not frozen. The Cardinals. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see. swap screens, it does that. 1 second. Can you see this now? I can't tell because when I switch back, it's frozen, but then it looks like it's kind of updated. I don't know. I'm going to try to stay on this screen because I think when I switch to a different screen, it freezes, but I want to look at a couple resources and whatnot. I used to have a dual screen setup, but this thing doesn't work now, so I'll just try to stay here and use my brains. So this is where it starts to get like in holy crap, this could actually happen territory if the Lions are good with Jared Goff. I don't think they will be, but we'll see how this goes with Brandon and the Lions here. Come on, come on, do something. I don't think I'm going to want to trade up. In fact, my top thought, assuming the Panthers do what I think they're going to do and take Trey Lance, I tend to think that it does say a minute, though. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Anyways, I'm going to leave that alone. I don't remember what I was saying. Panthers should take Trey Lance. I wouldn't mind trading back a little bit just to get as many picks as I possibly can at as many positions of need. I'm going to have to pull up a couple resources. So if the clock gets frozen once in a while, I apologize, but it's just a weird thing where when I click off of it, the screen that's being recorded isn't there, so it doesn't work. I think that's the case. I don't really know. I don't know what I'm talking about, man. So this should be Trey Lance here, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm keeping that Cowboys trade up in my back. Oh, really now? Let's see if that trade is still sitting there. Oh, did he got rid of it? He took it back. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, thank you for coming back to me. I think he lessened it. There used to be a second. Oh, no, he didn't. It said second and third, and now it says third and second. You trying to trick me, man? You trying to trick me? It's getting interesting. I feel like I shouldn't do it because it's like that's what the Bears always do, and that's why they get in trouble. They throw away all their picks to go up and get somebody that's not going to be very good. You're going to get some guy out of North Dakota State that runs the ball and can't really throw. I mean, that's what's going to happen in the NFL. He's a fine thrower in college at NDSU, but how do you turn that down? Let's see what the Broncos do. They could possibly go quarterback here. That hasn't been what they normally do, but I still feel like that's one of the big especially now that they got So we're on the clock, and we're doing it. I had no intention of doing that. I could have tried to see if that's a thing, but we need some good news, man. The Chicago Bears need something going in the right direction because everything has been just horrible. I mean, I got to give the Bears fans something to be excited about, even though I'm sure they're mad at me for giving away all the picks, and let's just get a tackle and not be crazy. But look, I mean, we still got a decent pass rush. We still got a running back. We'll start building up the offensive line. We'll do everything in our power to build around Trey Lance with the rest of the picks that we have. Unfortunately, nothing until the 5th round, which works to my benefit as a host of this little thing we're doing here. I don't know, man. We got to get something going in the right direction. So I just did it. He shouldn't have been there, so I didn't expect that to happen. Probably could have waited because Dallas wouldn't have taken him. The Giants wouldn't have taken him. San Francisco would have taken him for sure. Plus, a lot of these teams are real happy. Caleb Farley or whoever ends up going a little bit further. It's also a little bit harder because I got to try to remember how these teams have been, restructured or whatever. Everything's a little bit different these days. I don't really remember. The music is still too loud. All right, I'll turn it down more. I turned it way down because I know it is like blasting loud. Oh, good, it's working again. Yeah, I saw that it froze. So I can keep this screen up. All right, cool. So I can see the comments and whatever. Yeah, I don't know why the screen is freezing. I don't know why it's doing that, but turn the music down more. I did. Screen is on Panthers pick. Can turn down the music. It's loud and the screen is frozen are the only comments that are coming through. All right. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Come on. This is stupid. Who did the Bears take? I was gone for a second. The Bears, here. Can you see? Right here. Trey Lance. Ba-bow. What does this do? Oh, it shows how many. Okay. It shows who liked it and who didn't or whatever. All right. So, yeah, for those that were gone, we did decide to accept the trade to go up and get Trey Lance. We lost all our picks, but that's, I mean, I'm Ryan pacing it, giving away everything to go get our guy. And the plan going forward is to build around Trey Lance because, I don't know, man, everything's a mess. If nothing else, by the time this is done, I want Bears fans to at least delude themselves into thinking we're coming for the NFC North this year. That's a plan, right? That's what it is. Center. Makes sense. We're building. Plus, Lindsley and especially Balaga probably won't be around for a while, even though they signed longer-term contracts. Balaga is like, what, 32? Vikings, it's going to get a little bit interesting because they've also been making some moves. They added another defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson, so that's actually pretty solid. Not that you couldn't still go get another pass rusher, but that kind of diminishes the need for that a little bit. They got Patrick Peterson, so they got a little veteran leadership at cornerback. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, offensive line is a perennial thing for them. Edge rusher again, as always. I mean, just to make it even more scary. But we'll see what they end up doing here. Jalen Waddle's still there. That's a little bit surprising. Could still go Surtain. I don't think Patrick Peterson is anything near what he used to be. But we got... and Dalvin Tomlinson and Michael Pierce. I mean, again, it's just like, it's an oh crap thing for everybody else. Like, oh, come on, man. We're not going to be able to run, and our quarterback is going to get injured every play, and this just sucks. We're probably still going to win, but I don't want to play the Vikings ever. The Patriots, I don't know, man. They've done so much stuff, but I don't think have they hit any, like, massive home runs where it's like, you know, we can't draft them now because we went and got this guy in free agency? Because Jalen Waddle's sitting there. I know they got a wide receiver, but... Oh, there you go. We got another trade. Tampa Bay's coming up. What is Tampa doing? What is Tampa doing? Is it a... The team that just won a Super Bowl, retained everybody, and then just drafted Patrick Surtain. It's like, ugh, makes you sick. Makes you sick to your stomach. Not really. It's also a very Patriotsy thing to do. We're looking at it like, oh, man, they're going to get this guy and be real good. It's like, nah, we're trading back. We're good. We ain't scared of nothing. What do we got for comments here? Screen freeze. I know screen freeze. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what the problem is. It just is. Am I secretly a Bears fan? I got to be honest, man. I am not a Bears fan. Why is that? Is weird. That's a weird screen. It's like Cardinals, but it's purple. I'm just starting to feel bad for the Bears, and now that it's getting to the point where Bears fans are. I'll start announcing the picks. What was I saying? Oh, it's to the point now that Bears and Packers fans agree on everything. We agree that the Bears suck. So, I mean, there's a little bit of unwanted camaraderie there. I'm sure Bears fans don't like that they agree with Packer fans about it. They don't want to agree with us about it, but you know, it's hard to be mad at them. I mean, they're turning into the Lions, where you kind of feel bad for them. You know, it's not great for them. Great for us. What else? Ugh, hope the Bucks suck. Yeah, tell me about it. What is the app web name? This is called Walk the Mock. WALKTHEMOCK. You can go on there and do all kinds of stuff for free, but if you want to draft with other people, it's $5 a month or like $30 for the year. And again, if you use code PACKERNET, PACKERNET, all caps, you get, I think, 20% off. So here, but I've not. The Raiders took Davion Nixon, defensive tackle. I don't think I've ever seen him go that early before. I can't hate the position. I am not a fan of Davion Nixon at all, so I'm a little bit biased on that. It has no bearing on whether or not he's going to be a good NFL player. There's just certain guys every year I look at and I'm just like, I just don't like him. I just don't. And he's going to be the guy this year. But yeah, as far as position, not a problem with that at all. They definitely need some help along the defensive line. I am curious where he was ranked on this because I haven't really seen. So they got Jalen Waddle at 13 as a good value. Travis Etienne at 17. So for the most part, we're keeping in line. Davion Nixon must have been pretty high because, I mean, 26 is missing. So I don't know. What do we got at defensive line? Who's the earliest? It's always one of those things you don't really know exactly what the right thing to do is because obviously. But it's hard to do. Dallas Cowboys are back on the clock trying to make good. So what did they miss out on? Surtain, they could have gotten. Slater, I think, would have been important. I still am saying they need to do better along the offensive line. I know you got good players, but you need a lot better. Kwity Paye would have been a decent option to pair up. I don't really know who else. I guess Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, but all right. Where does he play? What's he gonna do as the number 4? So they drafted their number 4 wide receiver. I guess I shouldn't. I don't know what the situation is long term. It might freeze for a second because I want to look some stuff up here. Log out and log in because your site is all glitchy. I'm just curious about the Dallas Cowboys situation with contracts. So Gallup is in the final year of his deal. CeeDee Lamb is signed through 2024. Amari Cooper is 2025. So I guess we're getting rid of 25-year-old Gallup. I doubt it. I don't know. I don't. Not sure what that's about. I don't know who won that trade. I feel like Cowboys. I don't necessarily disagree, but I feel like the team has signaled that they're not doing that after they went out and got Carson Wentz, which I don't necessarily agree with in and of itself. I forgot there's a chat here, too. What are we missing? Packers saying, can you turn down the music? That was from a while ago. Is the music still a problem? Gallup was on the trade block. All right, fair enough. Can't see the pick selection and the music. I don't know what to do about that. I really I'll turn the desktop all the way down. You should not be able to hear it anymore. That's crazy to me. I turned it down to like nothing, like absolutely nothing, and I can see the sound bars barely moving, and everyone's still screaming that it's too loud. Hopefully, you can't even hear it anymore. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me if you can hear the music. I am really getting upset that this stupid thing keeps freezing like this. I don't know what the problem is. Mute the tab. Yeah, okay. I'll mute the tab. If I just got too much crud running. I don't have a whole lot else going. Oh, you know what? That could be part of the... Oh! Oh! That's what the problem was. I'm just stupid. We're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. I'm just stupid. That's why it's freezing. All right, so it should not hopefully be freezing much anymore. I think I fixed that problem. Music has not changed. All right, so... I don't understand. I took the desktop volume to 0. Where is the music coming from? Which I think I can do. I don't want to do that. There was a way that I could turn it down before. And I guess I don't know how to do... hold on. I think if I... I hate this stuff. These things are not intuitive. I wonder if I do that, if that'll fix it. I don't know. I'll try that one more time, and then I'm just going to try to mute it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, we missed a couple picks while I'm screwing around with stupid volume. Definitely makes sense to me. All right, volume check. I think music is going directly to the stream software. If you control it in the browser, it should work. Otherwise, you have to mess with the streaming setting. I know. I mean, I can see the desktop audio is where that's coming from, and it's you can mute the auto. Yeah. Can you show quick pick? Yeah, I'll go back and we'll look at the pick selections because I know I had this thing frozen for a while. We'll go do that. Yeah, there's a lot less. I'm hearing like an echo now. I messed everything up. I've completely ruined everything. I'm assuming nobody commented that that was muted or quieter, so I'm thinking that this is still messed up. I do like Baltimore a lot out of Alabama. I'm going to change this setting back to what it was because now I'm hearing an echo. Ah, screw it. I'll leave it. All right, I got to find the mute on here. This is reminders. I was pretty sure there was a way to turn the music all the way off on this thing, but maybe there's not. I don't know. Somebody's trying to tell me something about muting tabs. I don't know. I don't know what that means, though. No idea. What if I turn it down on my desktop? If that'll change anything. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. I have no idea. We'll wait until this pick is in, and then we'll go back and review a little bit. Cleveland Browns on the clock. Let's see. Nope, still blazing loud. I don't know. I have no idea how to turn the music off. I've done it before. I've absolutely done it before. But I got to screw with the settings, and I don't know. Something to do with this. Can I just mute this? Why are you even playing? What is desktop audio 2? Why don't you get out of my face? Why do you even exist? Are you there? Can you hear me? This is stupid. Yeah, I know. I can read it. I can't do anything about it. Hello. Shut up, Brady. It's not like helping an old lady with tech support because you're not helping. You're just sitting there making stupid comments. Green Bay Packers select, if you can even hear me. Samuel Cosme to the Green Bay Packers. All right, so apparently I'm quiet. I don't know why. I just changed the setting back. But all right, so I think I got it. I put the old setting back and the desktop audio is down. Hopefully the music is not blazing loud. I'm hoping. I think we might be kind of good. Perfect, Jason says. All right. All right. I didn't, for some reason, there's a second desktop audio on here. So I'm like, I turned the desktop all the way down. This is stupid, but there's desktop audio too for some random reason. All right, I told you, we'll get through the first round. We'll ruin the entire first round that everybody cares about. And then by the time everyone's ready to check out, back at it. All right. Anyways, here we go. We got trades going. Feeling good. I don't have very many picks, so I can kind of kick back until the fifth round. I'm digging it. The only problem I feel like we have right now is there's a lot of picks going to 0, so I think a lot of people are not here right now. So if you know anybody that's supposed to be in here that doesn't seem to be, which is probably a big part of the reason there's no trades, because these are all bots, make them get in here. I'm going to actually should probably do a reminder while we wait. Wyatt Davis going to the Buffalo Bills. It may freeze for a second. I apologize. I'll keep flipping back as much as I possibly can. So that it doesn't freeze. I need that link back though. Here we go. I'm switching back. I'm going. Here we go. Caught it in time. Kansas City Chiefs. Are they drafting a tackle, you think? Could it be? Nope. Going Kadarius Toney. Also a need, no question about it. I still think you need to be slightly concerned with the offensive line situation. I know they added somebody, I think, on the interior. Patriots super jacked up about their situation. They traded back and somebody fell into their lap. You can just tell by how quickly they grabbed Terrace Marshall there. Actually, I'm probably a little bit upset, unless they were targeting Terrace Marshall. But clearly wide receiver was a target. But you can't hate it. I wonder... I think yeah, here you go. So you can see the compensation. I asked them if they could add that, and they did, and I'm very happy about it. Thank you, Walk the Mock folks. So the Patriots exchanged first-round pick. I'm trying to talk here, dude. Hey, second round. Here we go. We're marching on. So there you go. You're getting some offensive line help. Definitely a guy that you could argue is a first-round talent now is going to be protecting the offensive line here a little bit. So picked up a second-round pick and a couple 2022 picks, actually a first and a third, which is solid, and still ended up getting what they wanted to begin with, which is a wide receiver. The wide receivers they missed out on by doing that, though: Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman, Rondale Moore. Wait, where was their trade? Oh, it was this one. Okay, so yeah. So Jalen Waddle. So it just depends how you had your board. I have to assume Jalen Waddle would have been a little bit better, but you're talking about an additional first-round pick next year and a ton of other value. I don't think I would change anything for the Patriots. I'm taking Terrace Marshall and all those picks for sure. And what I'll try to do here too, assuming we have time, is look at all the picks that teams have made, because I can do that as well. New York Jets in the second round select Jalen Phillips, edge rusher out of Miami. Get out of my face. NYJ. So we got Justin Fields. We got Zaven Collins. So we're sticking with defense outside of Justin Fields. Again, trying to recall what they've done in the offseason. I do believe they went out and got who did they get? That was the Giants that got Galladay. I don't know. But obviously feeling good enough with their offense that they can just plop Justin Fields in the middle of it and it'll be fine, and now we got to do defense. We'll see how that works out for them. Atlanta now, after getting Penei Sewell, an absolute stud, AJJ, selects... I'm going to need some more cold coffee, man. Jason Owe, edge rusher out of Penn State. Yeah, there's usually like a run of edge rushers toward the end of the first round, start of the second round. And Owe is a part of that crew. The Falcons are tough. I would never want to draft for the Falcons, kind of similar to the Bears, I guess. But I don't know what direction to go with the Falcons. I just don't. I guess it's just best player available and just see how that goes. What are you billy-dinging at me for? We'll leave this up. I want to leave this up so you guys can see the in-game chat a little bit too. All right, what do we got? Music is perfect. I know, Jason. I'm frustrated. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm not mad. Chris says, love the Green Bay pick. HW question: how many picks realistically you think Bears would have to give up to get the Jets or Dolphins pick? I mean, we could look it up. I don't really know if I want to do that right now. With all this stuff going on, you got Javon Holland. I don't know. What you can do, not that the trade value charts are everything, but just go look up a trade value chart, check out the math on it. But it's going to be, several first-round picks. I mean, the one that they have, next year's first, and then some additional. I don't know exactly how much more, but as a baseline, you'd start there. Finally, someone said yes to a trade for Arizona. Yeah, sorry, dude. I would have accepted your trade, but there's no reason to, because Trey Lance would never have fallen that far. Who's on the clock? Eagles? Philadelphia. So the Eagles take Kyle Pitts, which is kind of cool. They're a team, obviously, that's focused a lot on tight ends. I mean, they've had their top two receivers at one point arguably being tight ends. And that's starting to fall apart, so they kind of reload at that position to help out their young quarterback. Let's see what they go on to do here. Another team that's kind of tough to figure out what to do. So they get a safety out of TCU, Trayvon Morig. I think the issue, they kind of remind me a little, everybody's reminding me of the Bears because I am the Bears, but it's one of those things where this team had such a good defense for such a long time, and you're trying to get this offense to be just anything. Just please do something. And in the meantime, the defense is eroding. So it's like we could try to build up the offense, but this defense is starting to fall apart. We got to do something about it. So I don't know, it's challenging. You kind of get into a situation where you get to a point where I cannot click on the right team. There's just no good answers. And again, it's just take the best player available. I mean, unless it's something you already have loaded that position, but it's like you can't overthink it. There's not one thing that's going to fix this. We got to really do a lot of work. So do what you can. Jamar Chase went to the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know exactly, again, what they've done, but I know for a fact they need at least some more offensive line. I feel like they got somebody, but still, we need more. No chance. Azeez Ojulari. Forget the offense. We don't even. Who cares if our quarterback gets ruined? I don't care. I'm just teasing you, Christian. We're good. No, I mean, it is a big need. I mean, the defensive line in general is becoming somewhat problematic, and they don't really have much off the edge. It's kind of one of those teams where I think they take a lot of pride in some of the guys that they have, so you got to tread carefully saying that they're not very good, but they're just not very good in general. It's not what it used to be. Carolina Panthers. So the Carolina Panthers took Micah Parsons. Kind of a surprising pick. Usually Trey Lance is the automatic, but Nicholas is like, I'm tired of that nonsense. I don't really like that guy. He's not good enough. Possibly if a different quarterback had fallen, it would have happened, but he's obviously not into Trey Lance and wanted to get back to having an elite linebacker in the middle of the defense. If any fan base can appreciate that, it's Panthers fans. But now we got to do some work and get some critical pieces, I'm hoping. Not a quarterback necessarily, but a cornerback would fit that profile. And Asante Samuel's a cool dude, man. He's kind of smaller guy, but he's scrappy and just super talented. So yeah, that's a great pick right there. Just getting good football players. Some teams, when you're stacked, if you're the Chiefs or whatever, these playoff teams where you just got a couple pieces, you want to be a little bit more picky. But some of these teams, it's like, just get some studs, man. I don't care who they are. Just find a couple studs for your team. Bears trading that high would become a bidding war in real life. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. I should probably see if my wife's talking to me. She's probably having a panic attack about all this stuff going on. And I also need to plug in my phone. Oh, she's not. Desserts are amazing. All right, so no panic attack. That's good. She sent me emails. Don't have time to read it. Me either. What do we got? The Broncos. Who did the Broncos? They didn't take a quarterback, did they? Or did they? Jalen Mayfield. So a solid right tackle option there. Denver. There we go. Yeah, so Gregory Rousseau. I don't know. It's kind of iffy. I've kind of been back and forth. It's same with quarterback and edge rusher are two things where some of the fans are 100%. We need a new quarterback. And then I draft a quarterback and Broncos fans come for my throat. How dare you? Drew Lock is a god. Like, okay, he's kind of trash, but all right. And then you go edge rusher and it's like, Vaughn they're bringing back and what's his nuts? Chubb. I mean, he's not that good, but he's okay. But I draft a guy and Broncos fans, again, flip out on me. How dare you? Chubb is one of the greatest ever, and Von Miller's still there. Like, you guys need to talk amongst yourselves and figure out what you want to do because you got Gregory Rousseau sitting there on your team now. Obviously, I'm not alone in that. But then we go out and get Jalen Mayfield to, I guess, help out the offensive line. I don't know. Again, it's another thing where there's no great options. We need a quarterback, and we miss out on quarterbacks, and here we are. Lions, greatest thing about drafting for the Lions, just take the best player available because you need absolutely everything. We need a quarterback. We need offensive line. Running back is not necessarily a need, but if something happens, why not? Tight end is one of the few things we don't need. Defensive tackle, yes. Edge rusher, yes. Linebacker, yes. Cornerback, yes. Safety, yeah, why not? Might as well throw a kicker and a punter and a long snapper in there too, because why not? I think you actually have a real stud punter, but I'm just being facetious. I'm being mean, and I apologize for that. But I also don't care. All right. Giants on the clock. Caleb Farley. Giants. A real good pass rusher would be nice. Give me a sweet, sweet, sweet pass rusher. You did get Kenny Galladay, so I'm not going to say scratch it off the list, but it's not a massive need. I'm not going to be mad at you if you get another guy. I'm just saying a real... Get rid of this. Nobody's talking in the chat. That's what I want here. Boom. Love it. Digging it. Grooving on it. Kids say that, right? Does anybody say that? I don't know. I just said it. What do we got in the chat? Rousseau is a day 3 guy. You know, I'm not taking him that early. I've never been high on Rousseau. It's kind of one of those things from the start. I think Rousseau is, who's the guy? I've been working on the 2022 draft. Thibodeau, I think is his name, out of Oregon. I kind of feel like he's the next Rousseau. There's a certain build. There's certain guys that look like Rousseau. They're real tall. They're real long arm. They got all the attributes, and people just go nuts over them. And they're like, this guy's a number 1 pick. And it's like, yeah, but the stats aren't there. Like, nothing's really there that gets me excited. And then they just slowly fall. And I agree. I think Rousseau eventually just kind of, maybe second round. There's not a lot there. Like, substance. There's not a lot there. Carlos Basham's a good football player for sure. I mean, again, talking like statistically and whatnot, he's been pretty solid. Especially you're talking second round. I mean, look, Rousseau makes sense because it's what the board says, and if you're sticking to the board, fine. I'm just saying personal opinion. I don't think he's going to be all that great. Who's the other guy, the Penn State guy? Kind of the same thing where he just had that kind of Myles Garrett build. But he's not Myles Garrett. Eric Stokes to the Dallas. So this is cool. I want to look at who they've gotten so far. It's cool. You know, again, Jamie, I gave you a hard time about Jalen Waddle. But it's kind of cool because everyone's saying we got to get corner. We got to get corner. We got to get corner. This is cool because it's like, dude, I got this. I got it. Just relax. Again, this is the problem with when you just do first rounds because it's like everybody freaks out as though there's no other picks. Now you can see the other picks. We got a lot of other picks here for Dallas. And in the second round, we get our guy. I'm still a little iffy on Jalen Waddle, but, you know, at least we got that big need in the second round. Eric Stokes is a stud out of Georgia. It's all good, man. Doing a lot of work here for Jackson. Jacksonville's got a ton of picks. Just doing work. I like all these guys, too. Obviously, Lawrence is a no-brainer. Barmore's a stud out of Alabama. Big, just mean defensive tackle. Come on, man. Come on. Make the pick. What is this? Why does it do this? It didn't used to do this. Thank you. We got 7 rounds to get through, man. I can't be sitting here messing around with this nonsense. Paulson Adebo. Guy was a perennial first rounder, I think, for like 2 years. He was in, I think, last year's draft, too, before he decided to go back. The Patriots just know what they want to. Just auto-picking like crazy. Onwuzurike, big old stud out of Washington. Big boy. Yeah, but I like the... So Tevin Jenkins, real solid player, right tackle primarily. Then we follow that up with Paulson Adebo. So we're getting critical pieces, too, which I always like. You know, it's always a little bit iffy unless it's like a big need, you know, running back, linebacker, stuff like that. But you get a quarterback, a defensive tackle, an offensive tackle, and a cornerback. That's a pretty solid group. And then what do we got? We got the Patriots here. Let's just look up New England. Getting Terrace Marshall and Levi. So, again, the Patriots are tough because I couldn't even tell you who's on their team anymore. They got rid of a bunch of guys, drafted half the league. But no specific issues with these players. And again, I don't think they brought anybody on that's like such a stud. It's like, why would you do that? We just got this guy in free agency. They're all kind of, they're role players. And that's what the Patriots have always done. They get guys that can play and do what we need them to. Oh, they got 2 big tight ends is what they got. So that's one thing we don't need. Forgot about that. So we got Creed. Creed is primarily a center, but I'm assuming this is not going to be his position. He's going to be playing guard, I would assume. I'm going to pull that up and just so we have it available for us if I want to look up a little bit more insight, because as we get later, I don't know anything about these guys. Can I highlight this? Nice, that makes my life easier. Again, it's going to freeze when I go away from my screen. I apologize. I will try to be back so you don't miss the pick, but I just want to see a couple things about my man Creed Humphrey here. Got 18 seconds left. Creed Humphrey. Get rid of this. He's actually never played another snap outside of center. So you got to figure out what exactly to do with that. I don't think Corey Linsley has ever played a snap outside of center either. Obviously, he could be a Corey replacement at some point, but somebody's going to have to play guard. So I'm guessing Creed's going to have to figure it out because you're a guard, my man. Liam Eichenberg going to the Raiders. I'm going to pull up a couple other things because I'm really starting to... what would be the best? I bet Ourlads is on top of it, if I had to guess. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm trying to think who would be like the most updated so I have the right information. Again, it's going to be freezing a little bit, but I'll make sure that we get back for the pick. All right, so let's look at the Raiders. So Davion Nixon, Liam Eichenberg, and I know they lost some offensive linemen, but they've got Colton Miller. Oh, that's right, their right tackle. Their right tackle left? Where did he go? Oh, they traded him to the Patriots. It's all coming back to me. All right, so Liam Eichenberg is going to be our right tackle. I don't want to miss the pick, but I want to take a look at that and make sure that that's a decent fit. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just curious. Buffalo Bills, Quincy Roche, or Roche, I don't know. I should learn how to say these guys' names, but it is what it's part of the fun. Buffalo Bills do need some guys off the edge, no question about it. Real quick, though, getting caught up now that I got these things ready to go. Just want to check out my man Liam and see if he is a right tackle or could be out of Notre Dame. 6'6", 302 pounds. No, he has only been a left tackle in his career, and that's it. He's never played right tackle or anything on the interior. Interesting little note, the guy kind of broke out in 2019. He was sort of, well, he didn't really play in year one. Year two was kind of and then just kaboom, guy went off. I guess the question would be for them, could we bring Colton Miller to the other side? I think so. I think he's been very flexible. That might be what we do. Liam might be our new left tackle. Colton might have to move. I don't know. We'll try to get caught up on picks here. But we got the Dolphins about to get their pick in here. Miami Dolphins select Josh Myers, interior offensive line. So we'll take a look at what his position is, trying to build up that offensive line to help our man Tua. I think I missed a pick, though, so let's get caught up real quick. Yeah, so Quincy Roche went to the Buffalo Bills. I'll take a second to look at him. Again, I know it's a need, so I don't need to investigate that, but just get a little bit of insight here. 6'3", 245, a little bit of a smaller guy, 23 pounds, 36 pressures out of 323 attempts, 6 sacks. Pressures are fine. Grades out fairly well as a run defender. His first year in Miami. He had spent 3 years at Temple and absolutely dominated at Temple. Obviously, the competition went up a little bit in Miami, and the numbers went down, but still a decent. He did fine. He's fine. We'll check out Josh Myers in a second, but Washington's about to make their pick. Chaz Surratt. I've been asked a lot of questions about Chaz, so it'll be nice I'll get a chance to look at these guys. It's actually nice that I get a chance to look at all these guys if I can get caught up here. So again, Josh Myers went to Miami, so we'll take a look at Josh Myers real quick and see what he's been doing. I don't know if I'm going to have time to go over. So Ohio State, it says again he's a center, so he's only been a center, so that's what we're getting out of him here. We'll go back to the depth charts, look at the Dolphins. How much time we got? Pick is in. Dallas Cowboys select. Got that just in time. Hamza Nasruddin, another guy that was for a very long time considered a first-round prospect that has been falling. I think he's actually fallen down to about the third round now. He goes here in the second. We'll see how that all pans out. But Miami, It says Matt Skura was their center. Apparently, they are looking to replace him. I'm hoping that they know that he's a center, and that's what they're looking for, because that's what they got. Chaz Surratt, Washington. Oh, you stupid, stupid man. Come on. We're good. Everything's fine. We're loving life right now. There we go. 6'2", 225 pounds, 24 years old. Grades out horribly as a run defender. Coverage skills are subpar, and pass rush is the one thing that is seen to be redeemable. Again, these are just PFF things. Didn't really get a chance to look at the stats. We are at -7. But, I don't know. See how it goes. I mean, just based on that, I think Chaz is probably not going to be a second-round pick. But that, just because PFF says a certain thing doesn't mean that all the teams necessarily agree with that. Najee Harris, wow. I didn't know he was still on the board. That's quite a plummet for Mr. Najee Harris to the Colts. And the Colts of all teams get why? Talk to me, Kyle. I mean, look. Why is kind of a stupid question because the dude should not be there. Right? I mean, he should be long gone. And it's one of those things where it's like, how do we not do it? But at the same time, why? Let's look at Hamza real quick. I don't think we need to look too much into Najee Harris, so we can say we're caught up after this. But Mr. Hamza Nasruddin out of FSU, 6'4", 220 is a big old man. 2019 was a real good year. 2020 was a little bit of a regression, but he only played 2 games, so that doesn't even really count. But yeah, 68.9 passer rating when targeted was his 2019 passer rating or whatever. There we go. See, I don't want to miss the pick, but I want to go back and look at some stuff. Tennessee Titans select Ronnie Perkins, edge rusher. Did they get an edge rusher last time? Or did they not? No, they got a wide receiver, I think. Let's check out Tennessee here. Or did I miss one? Yeah, we don't need to do... So let's get caught up. Let's look at Ronnie Perkins for the Tennessee Titans. And I want to pull this up and see what they've done. What have you done? So yeah, they got Rondale Moore to replace their departed wide receiver. Get Ronnie Perkins because they need a little bit of help. 6'3", 247. 32 pressures out of 176 attempts is very, very high. Year prior was 31 out of 328, which is not all that great. But a 90 overall pass rush grade and a 90 overall run defense grade. It was a condensed season, so it's a little bit iffy. It's one of those things where he's kind of mediocre in 2019, like he's fine. 2020 is an unbelievable year, but it was a half a year, so it was a smaller sample size. But it's like if you can get that version of Ronnie Perkins, the guy's an absolute stud. Seattle Seahawks, I think, getting their first pick. Now, I don't know if this is going to be... Okay. I was going to say, usually their first pick is trash, but it's not the first round. So I think Dylan's a fantastic player and a good position. We'll take a look at a little bit of the details. Obviously, it's a smaller school, so there's some concern with that out of NDSU. But 6'6", about 300 pounds. He's a little bit smaller. He played 1 game in 2020, and he graded out phenomenally. But he's always been a very good pass blocker. Even going back to 2019, 349 times he pass blocked. I want to make sure I'm not missing our pick here. Allowed 0 sacks, 1 hit, 10 hurries. He's allowed 4 sacks in his entire career. All 4 of them came in 2018. Again, it's kind of high risk. I mean, 2018 he was mediocre. 2019 he was very good. 2020 he played 1 game, and it's a smaller school. But again, I think because he's a smaller school is the only reason you're able to get him where you're getting him. So it's high risk, high reward is what we're talking about. Steelers and then the Rams first pick after that. Deontay Brown, get another interior offensive lineman to look at. Again, Pittsburgh Steelers need a lot of help along their offensive line. There's no question about it. They got Darisaw, and now they get let's take a look at exactly what we're getting out of them. Center, it says guard here out of Alabama. 6'4", 350 pounds. Holy cow, this guy's a horse. He's played 4 years at Alabama, so he's got quite a bit of experience, making sure we're not missing any picks. Did not grade out super well. His pass blocking is actually his #1 asset. Not much of a run blocker, which is surprising at 350 pounds. He's probably not going to give you a lot of agility. He's played a ton of left and right guard, mostly left guard. So you're playing him at guard, not center or tackle, obviously at 6'4", 350 pounds. But, you know, I'm not overall attacking the offensive line makes a lot of sense. It's kind of getting to be a disaster area, but we were able to retain Juju, so we got the wide receivers. Still need a running back. Probably still need some help on the offensive line. Still need a quarterback, and our defensive pieces are starting to fall a little bit. But Patrick Jones made it all the way to the back of the second round for the Rams. I think Patrick Jones is a very good football player. And it's nice. I like it because, I mean, we have a good defense. So you could easily look at this and say, you need to fix your offense, not your defense. But you've really only got one really good pass rusher and really a handful of really elite players. I mean, you got your corners and you got one guy on your defensive line. Otherwise, kind of meh. Getting a true threat along the defensive line outside of just Aaron Donald is going to be very, very critical. 37 pressures out of 358 attempts, so 11-ish% probably. 9 sacks, 5 hits, 23 hurries this past season. So, yeah, he can get the job done. And when you got such a stud on the inside and a great defensive coordinator and good corners to give you a little bit extra time to get to the quarterback, I don't think he's going to have a problem getting the job done. Cleveland Browns. Hamilcar Rashed, edge rusher. There's so many edge rushers. It's crazy, which, by the way, I'm planning on doing a 2022 mock. I don't expect any of you to watch it, but I'm very excited about getting started on that. I got a late start on this year, and next year I'm going to be starting like today-ish. I've already got the graphics done. So, but you want to talk about a rush on edge rushers. Holy cow, there's a billion edge rushers. And so that's going to be about as many as have gone now. We're talking like first rounders. It's kind of nuts. But Mr. Rashed, I feel like there's no other way. I couldn't be saying that wrong. 6'4", 245. So we're getting a lot of these kind of smaller speed bend guys. Kind of a terrible year in 2020. He had 8 pressures on 146 attempts, which is, I mean, that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. 0 sacks, 1 hit, 7 hurries. But the year prior, 35 out of 290. There has to be some kind of an injury or changed position or something, because that just doesn't happen. So it's one of those things you got to get to the bottom of why that happened and investigate it, and then, you know, make your determination. And obviously they determined that that was the right course of action to pick him up. Baltimore Ravens take Elijah Moore. I'm a big fan of Elijah Moore. I don't think the Packers are going to be super interested in him, because I am, and that's just the way that tends to work. But Ole Miss in general, I love their quarterback. I've been obsessed with that guy since day one. And then Elijah Moore he massively broke out in his third year, and semi-condensed season, but he played most of the season. They only missed the first 3 games, it looks like, weeks 1, 2, and 3. But he had 101 targets. 2019 had 115 targets, so he didn't really go back at all. 1,193 yards, 8 touchdowns, 14 yards per reception. He is primarily a slot guy. 80% of his snaps coming out of the slot. But he gets the job done for sure, and I just like him. I just think he's fun. New England Patriots select Jabril Cox, very, very popular linebacker. Wouldn't really be super surprised if he went quite a bit earlier than this. I think Jabril Cox, Packers on the clock. Jabril Cox has kind of got a lot of those characteristics that a lot of guys don't really have, that you look for in a modern linebacker. 6'4", 231. He's a lot smaller. 83.5 coverage grade. I just think he goes early, man. He didn't have the greatest run defense grade, but he's been solid at that in the past. He plays for a big program, and again, for 3 years straight, the guy's been a lockdown coverage linebacker. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Oh, the Packers have traded away their pick to the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. So Dallas got a bunch of compensation from the Chicago Bears from me, used some of that to move up with the Packers. And so the Packers are going to start stacking a few picks here and allow the Dallas Cowboys to come up. We'll see what the Dallas Cowboys are interested in. You got Marvin Wilson there that could help them with the defensive line. Probably not Javonte Williams. Safety, I don't know what they got in the past. Let's take a look here. I would assume the pick would be in because they just traded. They should know what they want. They got Hamza, so they don't really want a safety. Maybe Dylan Moses, the linebacker. Possibly. I'm not a big fan, but, you know, they They could definitely use him. Not something you want to trade up for, I wouldn't think. Greg Newsome, cornerback. So I'm getting everything confused. That was not them that got a corner. That was, who was that got a corner? Oh, it was. So they're doubling down on corner. All right, fair enough. So here's the question then. What are our corners right now? I mean, who are our corners? Because obviously we already have a corner. One of these guys has got to be in the slot. So let's try to establish that really quickly. Who is going to be our slot guy? See if Eric Stokes at Georgia. So he was not a slot guy primarily. I don't think Greg Newsome is. Could be wrong. I mean, I could narrow down how many, because everybody plays a little bit in the slot once in a while. But 6'1", 185. Greg Newsome, 6'1", 190. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Oh, there you go. Arizona took Dylan Moses. Almost missed that pick. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the plan is. So again, we got Jalen Waddle, who's going to be our number 4, and I guess eventually number 3. And now we've got a bunch of corners, and I mean, I guess at the very least we can say we should have a good cornerback group. It'll be a heck of a competition, and we'll kind of get to the bottom of that. But I really feel like we're just smashing a couple wide receiver and corner. We're just really loading up. Dylan Moses, I've been looking at him for a while. He was a lock first-round pick. He used to be the top dog. And it was another one where I just looked at him like, I don't get it. He had a terrible 2020. Just did not really get the job done, and we've slowly seen him fall. And so now Arizona reaps, I guess, the benefits, assuming he comes in and plays well. I don't know if he will, but reaps the benefits of him falling almost to the 3rd round. They snipe him right before he falls into that. Kansas City now about to make their pick. Jackson Carmen off. So they end up getting their tackle. I kind of made a joke about that they need to do that. Didn't reach in the 1st round, decided to go for a wide receiver, found a really good wide receiver that they liked. And then in the 2nd round, end up still getting a quality offensive lineman. If we look at Mr. Jackson Carmen here, 6'5", 335 pounds. He has played entirely left tackle, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to start him at left tackle. He allowed 4 sacks this past season, which is kind of high. He's only had 2 prior to that, but he still graded out very, very highly. No, it wasn't because of more snaps or anything like that. Somebody send me a trade. These are all old, right? Can we get rid of these? I guess it says pending trade there. Just curious. So we got our guy, right? He's going to be our left tackle going forward. And you feel confident, right? He's a great football player, plays for a big program. He can come in and do it. New Orleans Saints take Shaun Wade, strictly a slot corner. They tried to put him on the boundary, and maybe the Saints will try that. Maybe they're looking at it going, hey, we'll give it a shot. Let's see if he can do it. He's a really talented guy, plays for a big program, but there was that big experiment. He was a lockdown slot corner. They moved him to the outside to see if he can do it, and the answer was essentially no. If we look at the specifics on his grading, I mean, he wasn't trash, but I mean, there's a clear decline, right? It wasn't his strength. So he went from a 78.6 overall grade in 2019 to a 67. Coverage grade from a 75 to a 64. It's a noticeable thing. I mean, you're going from being a good corner to being a mediocre corner. So, you know, I mean, would you rather have a lockdown slot corner or a subpar boundary corner? It's kind of a no-brainer. And that's why he goes last pick in the 2nd round, because, you know, it's not as important. So the Cowboys back on the clock once again, taking Landon Dickerson, who is, I believe, a center for Alabama. If we take a look at what Dallas has done, I believe they've gotten a offensive lineman already. They didn't. I lied. So I've been saying they need to get some offense. They still got some pieces, and by pieces I mean they got a couple guys that are just absolute studs. But it used to be 5 studs. Now we're down to like 2. So we've got to bring that up a little bit and keep that going. I guess we can stretch it and say 3, but they're not going to be around forever. Landon Dickerson, 6'6", 325 pounds. 91 overall grade. He played actually for Florida State for 3 years before going to Alabama. High character guy, real good pass blocker, but a complete road grader as a run blocker. So that's going to be a great fit here. He's going to be able to protect our quarterback, but he gets us back to being this team that is just going to blaze trails for our running back. And that's what we need, man. That's our identity. We're going to smash you right in the mouth, and there's nothing you can do about it. No way you're going to be able to stop us. So I respect that pick a lot. Elijah Molden, cornerback out of Washington, going to the New York Jets. Let's see what we got here. So the Jets thus far, lots of picks, and you can see, again, we're sticking largely with defense. We're not looking to do much more now that we got Justin Fields. We got Zaven at linebacker, Jalen at edge, and Elijah Molden off on the boundary. 5'10", 190, so he's a smaller guy. It's really annoying me that I'm seeing this flickering up here, but I think that's... Anyways. OCD, don't worry about it. 44.9 overall passer rating when targeted. That's down from 73.3. I mean, this guy's been a stud for about... He's been there doing a good job for 4 years, but he's gotten better every single year. I think the size is probably going to push some people away, but he's... I mean, it's a great university to find corners, and he's been a great football player. So it's another guy where it's like, I think he might go earlier. He might be a second-round pick, so this is kind of a steal. Jay Tufele in the third round going to the Houston Texans. How many picks did the Texans make? Is that their first? Let's take a look-see here. Houston, I mean, I'm not even going to comment on their situation. I don't know what you do if you're the Houston Texans, but... We'll start with Jay Tufele. Did not play in 2020. The last time he played, 2019, 6'3", 305 pounds out of USC. 26 pressures out of 368 attempts, which obviously is fairly low. At 305, you kind of hope he can do a little bit better than that. But he grades out fine as a run defender and as a pass rusher. He's kind of balanced that way. I think he's kind of a... we missed a pick there. Kind of a good, not great. I need to turn the music up in my headset because I'm not hearing that. Let's see what we missed. Francisco. Andre Cisco going to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's just take a look at what they've done so far. So we got Penei Sewell, which obviously is a fantastic pick. We've abandoned the idea of getting a quarterback, which is fine because obviously we're not getting rid of our quarterback this year. We can't financially do that. I don't even know if we can do it next year because I think we restructured him. Maybe not. Maybe I dreamt that. Jason Owe in the second round. Andre Cisco. I like the picks so far. Let's take a look a little bit more specifically at Mr. Andre Cisco, safety out of Syracuse, 6 foot, 209 pounds. Does not grade out very well at all, but he did improve his coverage grade. Let's make sure I'm not missing it here. In 2020, although it was a condensed season, so it's kind of an iffy thing. Again, we're moving a little too fast for me to give you all the specifics, but suffice it to say, he has not graded out very well. Cincinnati Bengals selecting Marvin Wilson, very popular guy in the third round. I think Marvin Wilson's big thing was he was an absolute freak in 2019 and completely fell off. Allow me to confirm that for you, though. Marvin Wilson, so again, attacking the defensive line. We got an edge rusher when I thought we were going to be getting an offensive tackle. We don't even know. Just take my word on that. That's what happened with Marvin Wilson. The Eagles are raring to go here. Eagles select Javonte Williams, so that's exciting. So I mean, one thing I like about this kind of a draft is similar to what I said about the Bears. We're just going to do something that's exciting. I don't know if it's going to work, man. We probably got a couple core pieces we need, but we got a stud running back, we got a stud tight end, and we're just going to go after it, man. We're just going to have fun. We're going to kick back and have some fun, man. It's a big party. What else happened here? So Javonte, let's take a look at Javonte. Let's take a look-see at Javonte. I know I said Marvin Wilson, but that's what happened. He was an absolute stud. He was a lock first-round pick, had a terrible 2020. They're concerned about his work ethic, blah, blah, blah. 94.3 overall grade for Mr. Javonte Williams. 95.6 running grade. That is stupid. That is just stupid. 77.5 receiving grade, 81.6 pass blocking grade, 71.5 run blocking grade. The guy is a freak in every category. Just a freak. I don't think he makes it this far. I don't think there's any way he makes it out of the second round. I don't know if he makes it out of the first round, to be honest. That's a great, great pick. Denver Broncos select Israel Makuamu, cornerback out of South Carolina. I keep wanting to say what I think is true, but I'm going to just wait. I feel like he's a bigger guy, like tall. But, just wires get crossed and I get confused with different people. But I was right, 6'4", 205. Again, not grading out super well, but it was a condensed year, kind of the opposite. He's actually done very well. 2018 and 2019, he was a solid cornerback. Again, a big body guy, so that's going to get some people excited if they find any potential there. But man, he had a terrible 2020. And again, it's one of those things where it's like you worry about the work ethic, right? There's no team workouts because we can't get together, so it's on you. You got to go home and do your homework. You got to go do your own private workouts, and you just don't show up at that season. It's like, were you just not doing the work? That's going to throw up some red flags, but he's obviously got the talent in there somewhere. Lions now on the clock. Let's get Detroit queued up if we can. Nick Bolton and Zach Wilson. So, again, we need everything, but it would be nice to get a solid piece. Give me an edge rusher. Give me a corner. Come on now. Thank you. Tackle. Kind of getting to that end of the line there for tackles. There you go. Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. Big fan. Another solid cornerback out of Georgia. We've seen Stokes go. Now we got Tyson Campbell gone here at the beginning of the third round. Come on. Tyson Campbell. Oh, my goodness. Cry about it. 6'2", 185. Graded out very, very well in 2020. He's actually had pretty solid coverage grades throughout. 99.4 coverage grade into 55, and then a 114.4, which sounds bad, but he graded out just fine. 30 receptions on 46 targets. He did give 5 touchdowns up, which is not great, but had a pick and 5 pass breakups. He actually doesn't have a lot of picks or pass breakups. He kind of just seems like more of a general lockdown where people just don't throw at him because he doesn't have hardly any picks or pass breakups. But then he had, again, the five touchdowns given up, which isn't great. So it's not perfect, but he grades out just fine. Decent enough build. He's a little smaller, but he's got the height. I think he's, for the third round, I think that's pretty solid. Trey Smith. So Trey Smith is a really, really talented guy. First-round prospect, but he's got a lot of injury concerns that kind of freak people out. Let's take a look here. Oh, we don't have time to take a look. That's the answer. Washington's pick is in, and the Packers are back on the clock. They traded way back. Richie Grant, free safety out of Central Florida. See if we have time to look at that. Give the Packers, hopefully they're going to give us a breather here. All the way down to the bottom. Washington took Richie Grant. So we already said Chaz didn't grade out super well, but, obviously he may still play well. Richie Grant, 6 foot 194, grades out phenomenally. Very, very, very good run defender. He is a strong safety, so that's what you're getting out of him primarily. It says free safety, but he primarily played strong safety, and he's just a dominant run defender. He doesn't miss tackles. He just lights everybody up. 58 tackles, 14 assisted tackles, 6 missed tackles, 32.2 passer rating when targeted, though, so he was pretty locked in there as well. He's just a good football player. There's no question about it. Real, real good football player. Green Bay Packers now. I think they're making their second pick. I believe, what was their first pick? Tackle? I don't know. So we'll see if we're going wide receiver desperation, defensive tackle. Wide receiver. There we go. Diami Brown, another guy I kind of feel like is a taller guy. And we're kind of getting to that point where any later, and it's like, just don't bother, because we're just getting guys that are, we've already got guys that can do this job. We don't really need any more that are just kind of mediocre. Like, find a stud or just forget about it. So Diami Brown, 6'1", 185, graded out very, very well. Let me go to the right category here, his receiving grades. 82.8 overall grade, 82.9, so an 83 receiving grade, which is fantastic. Just blew up. He went from a 58 to a 70 to an 83, so his trajectory is going straight through the roof. Only 21.3 years old. Packers do like getting really, really young guys. You had guys like Randall Cobb and Kenny Clark, who it's like they've been with the team for 50 years and they're 14 years old. 20 yards per reception, so he's a big game threat, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, kind of fits that mold as well. We're trying to find that speed guy that can stretch the field on the outside. I'm good with it. Giants now on the clock. Select Spencer Brown. I should go back to the comments here just to make sure I'm not completely... okay, I don't see a lot of complaints about everything. Just like freaking out, like, dude, your stream stopped, you idiot. Let's see what we got here. Draft charts, yeah, they're not perfect. Rousseau is day 3. Not a lot of comments in general. I think everyone stopped watching. No, I can see how many views. We're good. PFF on Cisco. If a good coach really gets in Cisco's ear, he could be among the elite safeties in the league. That's the type of tools he possesses. Yeah, I mean, all right. All right, good enough. I didn't want to neglect the comments, but, got work to do here. Again, this is good for me, too, to familiarize myself. David Mills, quarterback out of Stanford, going to the Patriots. Dang. I'm excited about that because I don't think I've ever looked at David Mills before. I don't know anything about the guy. I mean, I don't know where he was on the big board, so maybe it was just a good value pick, or maybe they just had their eyes on him. But let's take a look at Mr. David Mills, 6'4", 225 pounds, graded out fine, 83 overall grade. Again, condensed year, so we're talking about he really just had 2 good games out of 5. But an 80.7 passing grade. The year prior was a 70, so good, not great. 1,500 yards, 7.7 yards per reception. He had 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. So there you go. I'm going to take a shot with Mr. David Mills, see if he can win the job. Minnesota Vikings now. I know they took Kwity Paye. I don't know who else they took. See if they get an interior offensive lineman. What do you think? Nope, safety. Fair enough. One of the big things the Vikings have to do is get a lot of replacements because a lot of the guys, even if they're quite good, are kind of on the way out. So that was just their second pick. I guess they don't have a second one. So Ardarius Washington. Let's see what we can learn about Mr. Ardarius out of TCU. 5'8", 178. So that automatically, and the cool thing, I always like stuff like that because I don't care. The cool thing about that is you can get a stud for late. It's kind of like buying a pink car, like a pink Toyota Camry. The bones are there. Like, it's a great car. The engine will last forever, but it's pink and nobody wants it, so the price plummets. It's like, as long as you don't care about stupid stuff like pink cars, going to just run forever. That's not a great parallel because 5'8" actually does have negative implications. It's like if pink paint kind of ruined it. But again, as long as you think the guy can play, who cares? And he's just automatically going to be there in the 3rd round because he's 5'8". But you got to make that assessment. Is he the right guy? Raiders pick is in. Raiders select linebacker Baron Browning. I know it's a need. My only request is not the 1st round, and they didn't. We'll get to that in a minute. Ardarius Washington did grade out fairly well. It's a big drop-off. 2019, he had a 91 overall grade. 2020, a 71, so a pretty big... Dude, 2019, his passer rating when targeted was 11.6. He allowed 65, make sure nobody's picking right now, 65 yards, 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2 pass breakups. That went up to a 99.6. So, yeah, I mean, he's got some special stuff going on there. Raiders took Baron Browning. They're about to make back-to-back picks. Let's see if I can get a couple little tidbits about Baron Browning before we get our pick in. 6'3", 240, fairly big guy, grades out pretty decently in just about all the different categories. Is that this? No, he isn't, LOL. All right. So, yeah, I mean, he's decent across the board. He's not elite in any one category, but he doesn't suck in any one category. And I think if you just need role players, guys that you can just plug in and do their job, he's a good kind of player to get. Pat Freiermuth, a former 1st-round prospect, end of the 1st